श्री नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर पाद की। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे, तोमा बिना के दयालो जगत संसारे, तुम बिना के दयालो जगत संसारे, पतित पावन हेतु तव अवतार, पतित पावन हेतु तव अवतार, मौसम पतिता प्रभु न पाइबे आरा, आहा प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी, कृपावलोकन करो हमें बड़ो दुखी, दया करो सीतापति अद्वैत गोसाई, तव कृपा बोले पाई चैतन्य निताई, आहा स्वरूप सनातना रूपा रघुनाथा, भट्ट जुगा श्री जीवा प्रभु लोकनाथ, দয়া করো শ্রী আচার্য প্রভু শ্রীনিবাস রামচন্দ্র সংগমাগে নরোত্তম দাস শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌরভক্ত বৃন্দ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে जय वैष्णव ठाकुर 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर महाशय आविर्भाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्री राधा पास्तान ललिता अभिषेक सीताराम लक्ष्मण मान गौर निताय फुलान नरसिंह तिरुपति बालाजी की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की निदाय निदाय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेम आनंदे all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories Shri Guru and Gauranga all glories to you Srila Prabhupada Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvichesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Gaurachandraya Om Namo Bhagavate Gaurachandraya Om Namo Bhagavate Gaurachandraya Hare Krishna. So we welcome you all to this morning class. Today is auspicious festival of there's no festival, not today. Madhurotsav. Okay, Radha Krishna Madhurotsav is, I'll just speak a little bit about that. Before I speak more, I seek the blessings of the senior Vaishnavas who are present here, that I may present these glories, the glories of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, for his pleasure, your pleasure, and my purification. Okay, so Sri Krishna Madhurotsav ki. Sri Krishna Madhurotsav has got various indications. Some acharyas say that this indicates the Lord's rasa dance in some locations. The Lord Sri Krishna performed rasa dance at several places. At Yogapit, what they call, on the banks of the Yamuna. He also performed on the Govardhan also, in Radhakund also. Several places they performed the rasa dance. So that itself indicates the Supreme Lord being worshipped in Madhurya Bhava. Madhura is sweet. Adharam Madhuram Vadanam Madhuram Nayanam Madhuram Hasitam Madhuram Hridayam Madhuram Gamanam Madhuram Mathuradipadhe Ragalam Madhuram Venur Madhuro Renur Madhura Panir Madhura Pado Madhura Bhuktam Madhuram Suptam Madhuram Mathuradipadhe Ragaram Madhuram. Everything is Mathuradipadhe Ragaram. Rupam Madhuram Tilakam Madhuram Mathuradipadhe. Gova Madhuro Gava Madhura Yashtir Madhura Srishtir Madhura. Everything about Krishna is Madhura. So his pastimes are Madhura. Sripad Ramanujacharya says that everything about the Supreme Lord is sweet. Wherever you eat a sweet, whether in the top, the middle or the bottom, it is still sweet. So everything about Krishna is sweet. Also sometimes they generally say that Madhura Utsava or Madhura Mahotsava, it has to be celebrated by taking a palanquin procession of the Lord, worshipping him with oil and worshipping him with gold, offering that to him, and taking the lordships on procession. This is all considered part of Madhurotsava, the way we celebrate Madhurotsava. But for us, if it is the appearance day of the Lord, there is a feast, Kirtan and Prasad. If it is a disappearance day of any Acharya, there is feast, Kirtan and Prasad. If it is the appearance day of an Acharya, there is feast, Kirtan and Prasad. Because it's essentially chanting, dancing, feasting. We have to find some excuse to celebrate. So that's all. So as far as Iskcon is concerned, we don't need any separate festivals for this. It's the same chanting, dancing and feasting. We had chanting in the morning, dancing as well by many of you, and we love feasting after the class. Because I think every day we have a feast in Iskcon Delhi. That's my personal observation. It has nothing to do with any festival. We just find an excuse to have a feast. Acha. So today there are 3 feasts. Huh? Okay. Glad you told me, because normally it doesn't come to room number 12 or my office. So somebody has to take care today. Please ensure that it becomes Madhurotsav for me also. Akumara Brahmachari Sarvatirtadarshi Parama Bhagavadottama Srila Narottama Dasa Akumara Brahmachari Sarvatirtadarshi. It keeps coming as Chaitanya Charitamrita tune, but it's actually Sanskrit shloka. Akumara Brahmachari Sarvatirtadarshi Parama Bhagavadottama Srila Narottama Dasa. This comes in Bhakti Ratnakar, first part, 279th verse. So Srila Narottam Das Thakur Mahashai is Thakur Mahashai. So when we say Vaishnav Thakur, we should be very, very careful whom we are calling Vaishnav Thakur. Acharyas are Vaishnav Thakur. Just we have a tendency in Iskcon that, you call anybody Vaishnav Thakur or Maharaj. It's not be done. Outsiders without knowledge, because of ignorance, they may call somebody Maharaj or Guruji. Don't immediately believe them. At least we shouldn't believe them. People may call us many things. So it's very important that we understand this. Thakur Mahashaya was a title that was given to Narottam Das Thakur by Srila Jiva Goswami. Just like he gave the title Acharya to Srinivas Prabhu, he gave Shamanand Prabhu to Dukhi Krishna Das, the name to Dukhi Krishna Das. These were his three primary Shiksha disciples. And the three of them were the first Sankirtan party, first book distribution party. So before Gopiba Prabhu takes his team out every year for book distribution, there must be special prayers to Narottam Das Thakur, Shamanand Prabhu and Srinivas Acharya, so that book distribution grows. He is Champaka Manjari in Krishna Lila, and he appeared in Keturi, which is a very, very special place for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. This is sometime in the middle of the 15th century. There is no reliable information about the appearance date of Narottam Das Thakur. Now the interesting thing about Narottam Das Thakur is that he was he appeared on a Magha Purnima. This is a Purnima that Krishna performs rasa dance also many times. Madhura Utsava. So Narottam Das Thakur appeared on a Magha Purnima. He took renunciation on a Kartik Purnima. He got initiated by Lokanath Goswami on a Shravan Purnima. So when we see that Gaura Chandra is a full moon, he appeared on Gaura Purnima. His pure devotees are no less than full moon. And so Srila Narottam Das Thakur also has everything to do with Purnima. So, what is the Tithi today? Is it Magha Purnima today? It is. Sometimes we have this, Kala Bheda, something happens, but it is Magha Purnima. So it is appearing on the right day. In fact, any day a Vaishnava appears is the right day. If Krishna can appear at midnight, which is considered most inauspicious, and because of Krishna appearing, Janmashtami is celebrated at midnight, and that becomes auspicious. Quite similarly, the appearance of any Acharyas, any of the Acharyas is auspicious. Any of they disappear in so-called Dakshinayan, it is still auspicious. Because Uttarayana doesn't mean the Lord, Uttarayana doesn't mean just the sun going to the northern hemisphere. Uttarayana, Acharyas say, is the Supreme Lord who circumambulated the womb of Uttara, Uttara Ayana. So Bhishmadev waited for his arrival, and before him he disappeared, left his body. So Dakshinayana is also, it has to do with the Lord, everything has to do with the Lord. Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat, it is how we connect. Idam hi Vishwam Bhagavani Vetara. Must understand that the Lord is non-different from his own creations. Prabhupada once said that it's all mercy. Everything is mercy. You just have to find it. So on this day we pray to Srila Narottam Das Thakur that we get the mercy of Gaura Prema. That's why we started by saying Om Namo Bhagavate Gaura Chandraya. Because when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing with his associates at Kanayar Natshala, Kanayar Natshala is a very, very special place. Because when the Lord was traveling to Vrindavan, Nrsimhananda Brahmachari meditated in his heart, and he was paving a golden path for him. And he stopped at around that time, that space, Kanayar Natshala, and that's where the Lord stopped in that visit. When you go to our Mayapur temple, in the diorama section which is within the temple hall, you will find this pastime, Nrsimhananda Brahmachari meditating on the Lord, and how is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita also that painting. So Kanayar Natshala, who's Kanai? Krishna. Kanayar Natshala, everything is Kanayar Natshala actually for us. The whole world is Kanayar Natshala. As he was dancing with the associates there, he started calling out, Ha Narottam, Ha Narottam. So Nityananda Prabhu asked, my dear Lord, why are you calling out this name? And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Lord, you are always lost in ecstasy of the Supreme Lord. And several times in Jagannath Puri and other places, whenever you were dancing in ecstasy, we celebrated Nityananda Trayodashi day before yesterday. Nityananda Prabhu was always in ecstasy. Nityananda, Aha Prabhu, Nityananda Premananda Sukhi. He's always in bliss. Just like when we hear Krishna Katha, we should be in bliss. We hear about Nityananda Prabhu, we have to be in bliss. There are many ways of being in bliss, of course, during Katha. You can hear the Katha and be in bliss, or not hear the Katha and be in bliss also. There is a choice. So, he said that I had saved all that ecstatic love of God that you were emanating in your ecstatic pastimes, and I have kept it stored. So now I have to give it, because I kept it in reserve for Narottam. We Madhva Sampradaya associates, our Sampradaya of Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya, Sri Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So the Madhvas, they celebrate saying Hari Sarvottama, Vayu Jivottama. Hari Sarvottama, Vayu Jivottama. Narottama also. We have our Thakur Narottama. It is very important to celebrate the festivals of these Vaishnava Acharyas, because as sadhakas, if we lack determination in performing our sadhana, observing these festivals and meditating on the pastimes of these Acharyas gives us the determination to follow the principles of devotion service. So it's very, very important. If any of you is not feeling enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness, it is very, very important that we all together celebrate these festivals and learn and glorify these Acharyas. It is very, very important. So that should be one resolution for us, that we always celebrate the festivals, especially of the Acharyas. Because on our own, we cannot even glorify Krishna. It's not easy to glorify Krishna, but it's easier to glorify Guru. Ebejas Gushuk Tribhuwana. Prabhupada is allowing us Guru Puja every day, so that those who cannot come for Mangalarati and glorify the Guru through Gurvashtagam, whether it is congregation or temple devotees, they all get a chance at least to glorify Guru during Guru Puja. And that Guru Puja is written by Sri Narottam Das Thakur, Guru Puja Kirtan. This Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu is also written by Narottam Das Thakur. Jiyanilo Prema Dhana, Karuna Prachur, Heno Prabhu Kothagela Acharya Thakur. That Acharya is Srinivas Acharya Thakur, very, very dear friend of Narottam Das Thakur. Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Dasa. That Ramachandra is Ramachandra Kaviraj, disciple of Srinivas Acharya Thakur, but very, very close friend of Narottam Das Thakur. Just like there are so many disciples of Srila Bhakti Prajnan Keshav Maharaj, who was a senior god brother and sannyas guru of Prabhupada, who are also close friends of Prabhupada. So, the Vaishnava is always attached to Krishna and his devotees. So Narottam Das Thakur appeared as the son of Raja Krishnananda Dutt and Narayani Devi. He was the Zamindar of Gopalpur. This is a birth in a Kayastha family. Now why did Narottam Das Thakur have to appear in a Kayastha family? Kayasthas are supposed to be so-called lower caste by birth. This is just so that the Lord wanted to demonstrate that his pure devotee can appear in any family. Just like Srila Haridas Thakur appeared in a family of Yavanas to demonstrate the fact that a pure devotee of the Lord can appear in this family also. So when he was born, from a very young age, he demonstrated supreme intelligence. And he was always ecstatic, meditating upon Chaitanya and Nityananda, Gaura Nityananda pastimes. So he was really feeling separation from the Lord all the time. And once, finally, Gaura Nityananda and their parishats, they appeared in the dream of Narottam Das Thakur and consoled him. And one day, Sriman Nityananda Prabhu himself appeared in his dream and told that Narottam, when you bathe in the morning tomorrow, you bathe in the river Padma. There, the Supreme Lord Gauranga has stored Gaura Prem, Krishna Prem for you. Please go there and obtain and acquire the ecstatic love of Godhead. So this is what Mahaprabhu had told the Padma river. Say, I am storing it in you, give it to Narottam when he comes. So Padma river asked, my dear Lord, how will I know who is Narottam? So the Supreme Lord said, now Padma or Padmavati river, she is a branch of the Ganges, goes west of Bhagirathi, branching off from Bhagirathi. For about 50 kilometers, at least at that point of time, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote about this, this was the separating border between West and East Bengal, which is current day Bangladesh. And so we can assume that Mahaprabhu was on the southern side, and Rajshahi, where Rajshahi is the district area where Narottam Das Thakur appeared, that's on the northern side. The southern side is Murshidabad, which I think stayed with West Bengal. Murshidabad and Khulna districts. I'm not very sure whether it went to Bangladesh or stayed back in Bengal, but anyways, that's where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have stored the Krishna Prem in that region. So this place is currently, it was a place called Kutupur. It's a place called Kutupur. Currently this place is called Prem Toli. Prem Toli because that is where Narottam Das Thakur got the Prem. Now how did he get it? Mahaprabhu told River Padma that when Narottam enters your waters, you will start overflowing. You will be completely in ecstatic waves. And that will indicate that it is Narottam, the pure devotee of the Lord. Sure enough, when Narottam Das Thakur was otherwise darkish in complexion, entered the river Padma, she got, this is the Hare Krishna movement. The word for movement in Hindi and even Sanskrit is Andolanam. Andolanam. So the Hare Krishna Andolan is based on obtaining the goal of Krishna Prem. Jai Shri Radha Parthsarthi Lalita Vishaka ki jai. Shri Gauranitai ki jai. Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. So Narottam Das Thakur is a pioneer of the Hare Krishna movement. So his entering the waters of Padma started an Andolan. And he got the Krishna Prem. Gaura Prem, Gauranga, 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 Nityananda. Both of them blessed Narottam Das Thakur and he got Gaura Prem. And sure enough, when he went home, when somebody gets love of Godhead, it is Vishya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinam Rasavarjam Rasopyasya Param Drushta Nivartate. One gets a higher taste. When one gets higher taste, one would not covet lower taste. When one has got the taste of Krishna Prasadam, then one would not like to eat from the most tasty bhel puri or aloo tikki or whatever that is available outside. I still remember that when I used to stay in a place called Meera Road in Thane district, close to Mumbai. Weekends I used to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I used to be woken up by the Kirtan sung by some devotees, Hare Krishnas from the Meera Road temple. I used to get angry with them. Whole day I used to watch TV serials, and in the afternoon I would go eat Malayali vegetarian food cooked by a non-vegetarian in a non-vegetarian kitchen with non-vegetarian vessels, and then eat a cornetto ice cream, and would continue to watch TV serials till evening, when I would go and eat Chinese food from Borivali on the streets with my best friend who eats beef. So, and at night I would continue watching TV serials up to 11 p.m. So this was bliss. So I'm thinking that how merciful Prabhupada is, that he has told us what is prasadam really. Atma vashyar vidhaya atma prasadam adhigacchati. Ragadvesha muktishu vishyan indriya ischaran. So all this attachment and detachment, sankalpa, vikalpa, all these things take a different perception, different complexion when you get into Krishna consciousness. But at least if we develop even a little taste for Krishna prasadam and for glorifying Krishna's devotees, then we have a hope in Krishna consciousness. I will just say why I said this point. Please remind me. So now, Narottam Das Thakur, after having developed the higher taste, naturally had no taste for family life. Please remember, we said Akumara Brahmachari. He was Naishtika Brahmachari. Forever he remained renounced. So, he just wanted to run away from home, just like Rup Sanatan and Raghunath Das Goswami also. So one version is that he fooled his mother when his father was away. Father was a zamindar, so he must have been out on some work. Fooled his mother, fooled the guards, and then he ran towards Vrindavan. So there is one version. There are other versions also. So it's a long way from Gopalpur to Vrindavan. It's a long way, Bengal to UP. So as he was going and going and going, he was feeling very, very tired. And a golden complexioned Brahmin boy appeared and gave him some milk. He said, please take this, your fatigue will go away. But he was so tired he slept off, and in his sleep Rup Sanatan appeared, and they personally with their hands fed him that milk given by the milk, who was given by the golden complexion Brahmin, who was none other than Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. And one great thing Srila Narottam Das Thakur was famous for, is famous for, right from the beginning, is mentioned Sarva Tirtha Darshi. He liked traveling and seeing tirthas. Like very soon many of the devotees will be traveling to Mayapur. Or at least some of them will be traveling to Mayapur. So even my voice is not coming out. So he saw many places in Odisha and Bengal which were the Jaha Shab Leela Kaila Sri Sachi Nandan. All those places he saw. Gaura Pastimes. Narottam Das Thakur saw all those places. Of course, this is separate from that. But right from the beginning, he liked traveling. So he went to those places, visited all those places, and then when he came to Vrindavan, he knew about how all these Parshadas of the Supreme Lord had left. Very few were left. Gopal Bhatt Goswami was there. Raghunath Das Goswami was also there, I think, if I am not mistaken. And definitely Jiva Goswami Pad was there. So Gopal Bhatt Goswami initiated Srinivasa Acharya, and Lokanath Goswami was the very first of the Goswamis sent by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to identify the places of pastimes of the Supreme Lord in Vraja. He was carrying Radha Vinodi Lal on a small bag or a cradle around his neck and calling out the Dwadasha Vanas, please manifest, O Vrindavan, oh, please manifest, O Kadirvan, oh please manifest, O Bandirvan, please manifest, O Kamyavan, O Kokilavan. He called out all those Vanas and they would gradually started manifesting. And Bhugarbha Goswami was his best friend. So from those days itself, if you have to go to Vrindavan, don't go alone. Go with a friend. Always go with a devotee. They went together and they found out many of these places. They're basically Manjulali Manjari and Prema Manjari in Vraja Pastimes of the Lord. And so, Narottam Das Thakur had heard so much about Srila Lokanath Goswami Pad. By the way, it is Lokanath Lokera Jivana. It is not Lokenath. Just because it is Lokera Jivana, it doesn't mean it is Lokenath. It is Lokanath Lokera Jivana. So Lokanath Goswami. So Lokanath Goswami was a Viviktanandi Vaishnava or Bhajananandi. He believed in Bhajan, Nirjan Bhajan. And Bhugarbha Goswami is so famous for Nirjan Bhajan, he dug a cave so deep into the earth. Bhugarbha, he used to go and chant. We need so many facilities to chant Hare Krishna, right? We need, in summer we need an AC to run. In winter we need to ensure that the doors are all closed and there is, if possible, a heater. So many facilities, and we need somebody to wake us up when we are chanting. All the facilities we need. But these are glorious Vaishnavas, Viviktananda. They're setting an example for us how to develop love of God, how to chant. And so Lokanath Goswami Pad would, when he would perform his physical functions, bodily duties in the morning and go away from a certain place, the next morning he would come, that place was swept clean and there was fresh sand kept for him to cleanse himself and water as well. So he used to wonder what was happening, because Raja Krishnanand Datta's son, Narottam, born in a Zamindar's family, most effulgent and intelligent, had an undying desire to surrender to Lokanath Goswami. And thus, he was so determined to get initiated by Srila Lokanath Goswami. Just like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Pad was determined to get initiated by Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Just like Sripad Ramanujacharya had a desire to receive Vaishnava mantras from Goshti Purna. Repeated, determined visits to the Guru to get initiated. It is said that for receiving Harinam initiation, one should show a lot of eagerness. For Brahmin Diksha and Sannyas Diksha, it's best that you don't show too much so much eagerness. There are some contemporary acharyas in Iskcon who, anybody goes to them and requests that I want Brahmin initiation, they tell them wait for 6 months. If you don't ask, you have a hope of getting the Brahmin initiation. But you ask, you are asked to wait for 6 months. There are some contemporary acharyas in Iskcon also. And definitely sannyas also. It has to come from the top. I heard this from His Grace Mohan Prabhu, this point, he confirmed once. These instructions have to come from the top. But for Harinam Diksha, we have to show extreme enthusiasm. So Narottam Das Thakur was showing that enthusiasm. How? By ensuring that every night he would clean the night soil, it's called night soil or excrement. He would clean that, set up fresh material or ingredients for cleansing, like sand, washing the hand and cleansing the hand, drying the hand, and there would be water for further cleansing. And Lokanath Goswami used to wonder, and sure enough, he stayed up the whole night, chanted through the night and waited till morning to find out who it is. I mean, these Vaishnavas are amazing. if they feel that they want to find out who it is, they're willing to even chant through the night. It's difficult for us to even, we chant during the day, it may become night for us in terms of sleeping. But these Vaishnavas, they can chant through. And so he waited and he saw, sure enough, he saw the son of Krishnananda, the Zamindar, was standing there. And all night, after cleansing the place, Narottam would hold the broom to his heart and saying, my Lord, I hope through this I receive your mercy of initiation. Holding the broom with which he used to sweep that place. He would hold it to his heart and pray that please give me initiation. And with that kind of determination and yearning and aspiration, sure enough, Lokanath Goswami Pad initiated him. And he's the only disciple of Srila Lokanath Goswami Pad, who was a Viviktanandi. Similarly, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who was Sakshat Vairagya Murte, he also had only one disciple, who was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And what a disciple he was. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Pad ki, we will soon be observing his festival also. I think Disappearance Day is coming up. Next Monday, I think, something like that. Appearance, eh? Oh yeah, appearance. And along with that, I think Gaur Govind Maharaj something is also there. Around same day, something comes like that. So, it just shows that if you're a Viviktanandi, you don't have to preach yourself. You can preach through your instruments. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was also initially a Bhajananandi. He chanted 10 crore names of the Lord. From there, the Gaudiya movement spread. So even if we have to spread the movement, we need the strength of the holy name. That is why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to say, he reasons ill who says Vaishnavas die. For while living they spread the holy name around. Spreading the holy name around is the job of the Vaishnavas. So Narottam Das Thakur preached the holy name across Bengal and Orissa, many places. On behalf of Srila Lokanath Goswami Pad, who was a Viviktanandi Vaishnava. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur preached across the Indian subcontinent, including up to Myanmar, contemporary Myanmar, which is once upon a time Burma, and also contemporary Bangladesh. And his disciple Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, took it even beyond the shores of the subcontinent. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. So, it is not a sin to be a Viviktanandi or a Bhajananandi. But, it is based on superior instruction. These Vaishnavas were already instructed by their spiritual masters to do this. For us, the moment is whatever the spiritual master tells us. The spiritual master tells us that you go and open temples, make devotees, distribute books, then that becomes your service. The spiritual master says, like Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, who was a disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to sit and chant 64 rounds every day. That was the only service given by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave Vaishnava Bhek to a few of his disciples. Babaji Bhek. So it is based on empowerment by the Acharya. We cannot whimsically invent our own methodology of service to the Lord. It is called Manmana Bhavamat Bhakta. In Hindi we say Manmana Bhavamat Bhakta. Not doing something that is whimsical. We should not listen to the dictates of the conditioned mind. So, Srila Narottam Das Thakur became such a glorious preacher. Now I will narrate a few of his. Narottam Vilas. This is a preaching pastimes by Narahari Chakravarti. So, do you want to hear some of his preaching pastimes? But before that, I want to chant from Narottam Ashtakam. Murtaiva bhakti kimayam kiyemesha vairagya saras tanumandra loke sambhavyateya kritibhi sadaiva Tasmai Namah Srila Narottamaya. Tasmai Namah Srila Narottamaya. Tasmai Namah Srila Narottamaya. This is by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He is Murtaiva Bhakti. He is devotion personified. Vairagya Sara, the essence of renunciation. Tanuman Riloke, he is a personified form of Bhakti and Vairagya. Bhakti itself contains Jnana Vairagya Yoshchaiva. It is part of Bhakti. Bhakti Pareshan Bhava Virakti Ranyatrasya. They are natural byproducts of Bhakti. Sambhaveteya Kritipi Sadaiva. And he makes it happen for everyone. For us also. So if we want devotion and Vairagya in our devotional life, how many sadhakas amongst us want devotion and Vairagya in our sadhana? There is no rule that Mataji should not raise their hands. They also need Vairagya and Bhakti. So it's very, very important. And so we get into some of the preaching adventures of Narottam Das Thakur. So there was a storage bin which is called Gola in Bangla, in Gopalpur. It was owned by a person called Vipradas. He would hesitate to get into that granary, that Gola, because there was a snake there, very poisonous snake. So as I said snake, somebody used a spray and so sound effect. So this snake was causing trouble. People couldn't enter the Gola. And so Srila Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya was invited. The moment Srila Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya appeared there, it's mentioned also that he prayed to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The snake disappeared and in its place appeared golden Vigraha of Gaura Sundar and Vishnu Priya Devi. So this is extraordinary pastime of Narottam Das Thakur. They just climbed out of the granary and they came onto the lap of Sri Narottam Das Thakur, just like Sampat Kumar Vigraha came onto the hands of Srila Ramanujacharya. It was worshipped by Bibi Lachmar of Delhi. So quite similarly, these deities are worshipped by at Gambhila, a place called Gambhila, not Gambhira, Gambhila. We are told that Sripad Indradyumna's Maharaj of Iskcon, he worshipped these deities personally once. He got the opportunity. These are almost golden deities. And once a Smarta Brahmana called Sripad Narottam Das Thakur Shudra. And he was attacked by leprosy. Because we should not look at Archaya Shilayam Gurushu Naramati Vaishnaver Jati Buddhi. To consider the deity as just stone, to consider the spiritual master an ordinary person, and to blaspheme him, and to consider Vaishnavas on the basis of their birth. He's a South Indian Vaishnava, he's a UP Vaishnava, he's a Russian Vaishnava, Chinese Vaishnava. This is all nonsense. Sometimes even in Iskcon people come and ask you, hey, you're a Brahmin, na? He says, yeah, my Guru Maharaj initiated me. That should be our understanding. I remember when I received my Brahmin thread from a spiritual master, he looked at me with a lot of gravity and said, you are from a South Indian family, Brahmin family. And I felt like an insect. Because he was indicating that now you are becoming Brahmin, so far you are not Brahmin. So, this Jati Buddhi shouldn't be there. To consider somebody a Brahmin only on the basis of birth is wrong. Guna karma vibhagashaha. And so, this Brahmin therefore was hit by leprosy. And the same time when Sripad Narottam Das Thakur's fame grew far and wide, after he performed the first Gaura Purnima festival at Keturi. So Vaishnavas are not just chanting, Vaishnavas are not just worshipping deities, Vaishnavas are also great organizers. They do big festivals. So the first Gaura Purnima festival was organized by Narottam Das Thakur under the able leadership of Janava Mata herself, Shakti of Nityanand Prabhu. And so many of the great Vaishnavas had come there from across the peninsula. And it is mentioned as promised by their lordships in a dream to Narottam Das Thakur. The Panchatattva personally appeared in that wonderful Kirtan, which was led by Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur led that Kirtan, and Srinivas Acharya was the pujari. He performed worship of 6 different deities were installed that day, including Vallabhi Kanta and several other deities, Radha, Shamsundar also. Some 6 different deities were installed. They are worshipped at various places now. And after this huge festival, Narottam Das Thakur, his fame grew far and wide. So there were many devotees who took shelter of him. Ganganaran Chakravarti, Ramchandra Kaviraj, as in Shiksha disciple also. They became, some of them became his initiated disciples, some of them became his Shiksha disciples. And so, the Smarta Brahmanas, Smarta, when we say that, one of my friends calls me, you're a smart devotee. You're a smart boy. So tell me you're a Vaishnava boy. Smart is not a good name for us. But Smarta Brahmanas, they were blaspheming Narottam Das Thakur. That he is initiating Brahmanas, he is born in a Shudra family. How dare he initiate? So then, it was decided that the Raja of Narsinghapur, he called Rupanarayan, Digvijay Pandit. It's a different Rupanarayan. He came for debating and defeating Narottam Das Thakur. But on the way, Ganganaran Chakravarti and Ramchandra Kaviraj came as a pot seller and a pan seller. And they spoke in chaste Sanskrit with each other. And they defeated him roundly in argument. So he said, if this is the case of pan seller and pot seller here, don't even bother wasting time in arguing with Narottam Das Thakur. And at night, Mother Durga personally appeared in the dream and said, don't take pangas with these Vaishnavas. Please go and take shelter of Narottam Das Thakur. Similarly, there was another person called Shivananda Acharya who was a Shaivite. He had 2 sons, Ramakrishna and Hari Rama. And both of them were going to worship Mother Kali by offering a goat and a buffalo in sacrifice. So when Thakur Mahasaya saw them, he corrected them. Corrected their understanding that this is in the lower modes. Please accept Krishna Bhakti as the topmost. And so sure enough, they took bath and took initiation from him. This news went to Shivananda Acharya, and he called somebody called Murari Pandit from Mithila to try to defeat him. Same thing happened. They were roundly defeated. And Mother Durga again came in the dream of Shivananda Acharya saying, please don't do this nonsense. Please worship Krishna Bhakti is what I prefer. Why are you doing all this nonsense? She told in various occasions to all these people. They told both Shivananda as well as this case of this Raja of Narsinghpur and others. So, Krishna Bhakti Kailash Sarva Karma Krita Hai. Srila Narottam Das Thakur is a living example because he is personification of Bhakti. So much so he is full of Krishna Prem from top to bottom. He wrote such wonderful bhajans. Narottam Das Thakur's pastimes are detailed in Prema Vilas and in his Narottam Vilas also. He's written this wonderful book called Prarthana, right? And one more great book. Which book has he written? Prema Bhakti Chandrika. These were the 2 books that Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj and Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj also, they always maintained that this should be with them. They used to always quote from that. Srila Prabhupada himself said that the works of the Vaishnava bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur are non-different from Vedic literature. So on this day, on the appearance of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, we should beg from him that we also get love of Godhead by following our acharyas as they instruct us, and we also get a chance to learn about the pastimes of the Lord by visiting his pastime places, preaching the pastimes, and not look at Vaishnavas as per their birth or any other qualification. And Srila Narottam Das Thakur also disappeared in a wonderful way, and he's got a Dugdha Samadhi because his disciples were asked to wash him, bathe him in Ganga water, and as they bathed him, gradually the body started melting, became milk, and the Ganga became milky, and that place there is Dugdha Samadhi. So this is a very, very special personality because it's Bhakti personified. Srila Narottam Das Thakur Pad Ki. So we can take one question and we can have then comments by Senior Vaishnavas. Does anyone have any comment? Any question? Because I guess Narottam Das Thakur is very popular. All of you would have heard many times. I want to thank my friend Sadhudev Prabhu and Pandaprem Prabhu, both of them. Originally I was supposed to glorify Ramanujacharya. And Pandaprem Prabhu came to me and told me that every year you glorify Ramanujacharya, I glorify Narottam Das Thakur. Let us exchange this time. But on Ramanujacharya's appearance, His Holiness Bhakti Acharya Vaishnava Swami Maharaj came, so he lost his chance. But I continued to get a chance to glorify Narottam Das Thakur. He has gone to Dwarka to glorify Narottam Das Thakur. So thank you very much, Sadhudev Prabhu also. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You want to say something, Prabhu?
हरे कृष्णा। तो आज श्री कृष्ण मधुरोत्सव है, तो हम लोग रोज गाते हैं श्री राधिका माधवयोर पारा माधुर्य लीला गुण रूप नाम नाम, कि जो गुरु महाराज हैं उनके मैं चरणों की वंदना करता हूँ, जो राधा और माधव के जो माधुर्य लीला का जो है प्रतिक्षण आस्वादन लोलुप, तो हर समय आस्वादन के लोलुप हैं। वंदे गुरु श्री चरणारविंदम, ऐसे गुरु के चरण कमलों की मैं वंदना करता हूँ। तो माधुर्य लीला, राधा माधव की माधुर्य लीला, तो गर्ग संहिता में तो माधुर्य खंड ही है, पूरा माधुर्य खंड उनकी मधुर लीलाएं पूरा भरा हुआ है। तो एक थोड़ा सा मैं उसमें से बताना चाहता हूँ कि राधा रानी को जो है ललिता और विशाखा जो है बताती हैं कि तुम जो है श्री कृष्ण का दर्शन करो, और वो जो है रोज संकरी गली से यहाँ गुजरते हैं और तुम्हारे महल के पीछे ही जो है जो खिड़की है उससे तुम उनका दर्शन करना। तो राधा रानी कहती हैं कि मुझे पहले चित्र दिखाओ, पहले मैं उनका चित्र देखना चाहती हूँ नंदनंद का। तो ललिता और विशाखा ने मिल करके कृष्ण का चित्र बनाया। तो कृष्ण का जब चित्र बनाया तो राधा रानी कृष्ण का चित्र सबसे पहली बार देखती हैं, तो वो जो है मतलब बहुत हो जाती हैं, मतलब प्रेम में आवेशित हो जाती हैं। उसी चित्र को देखती देखती वो जो है छाती में रख लेती हैं और सो जाती हैं, और उसी में जो है वो फिर दर्शन करती स्वप्न में कृष्ण का, तो कृष्ण के साथ में वो नृत्य कर रही हैं। और जब इस प्रकार से जब उनकी निद्रा भंग हुई तो बहुत विलाप करने लगी कि कृष्ण का जो है मुझे दर्शन हो रहा था और नृत्य में कर रही थी, अब तो बड़ा विरह होने लगा। तो ललिता कहती हैं कि अब जो है ये समय हो चुका है कि वे अब गुजरने वाले हैं यहीं से, अब तुम आओ गवाक्ष में, गवाक्ष कहते हैं खिड़की, तो गवाक्ष से जो है दर्शन करो कृष्ण का। तो कृष्ण का दर्शन करती हैं राधा रानी खिड़की से, और कृष्ण की दृष्टि पड़ती है राधा रानी के ऊपर, तो दोनों में जो है फिर बड़ा आकर्षण होता है। और राधा रानी चाहती हैं कृष्ण के साथ नृत्य करना, और कृष्ण चाहते हैं राधा रानी के साथ नृत्य करना। अब जो है राधा रानी बहुत वियोग में व्याकुल हैं, तो फिर सतचंद्राना नाम की जो सखी है तो बताती है कि तुम जो है तुलसी का पूजन करो, और तुलसी देवी से जो है तुम ये वर प्राप्त करो, इसके श्री कृष्ण तुम्हें प्राप्त होंगे। तो तुलसी का जो है सिंचन और सेवन करती हैं, पूजन करती हैं, और तुलसी महारानी साक्षात प्रकट होती हैं, राधा रानी को वरदान देती हैं। तो राधा रानी फिर कृतकृत्य हो जाती हैं। अब श्री कृष्ण विचार करते हैं कि इनके प्रेम की परीक्षा लूँ। तो श्री कृष्ण प्रेम की परीक्षा लेने के लिए एक युवती का रूप धारण करते हैं और बरसाना में आते हैं, और ऐसी युवती, इतनी सुंदर युवती, श्याम रंग की युवती है और कभी देखी नहीं, और जो है जब प्रवेश करती हैं राधा रानी के महल में तो कोई रोक भी नहीं सकता, क्योंकि इतना तेज, इतना प्रभाव इस युवती का, और सीधे राधा रानी के जो है अंतरंग आ जाती हैं, उनके अंतःपुर में आ जाती हैं। और राधा रानी भी जो है जब देखती हैं तो वो जो है उनको जो है सिंहासन पर बैठाती हैं, उनकी पूजा करती हैं, और तुम बहुत अच्छी हो, तुम तो बहुत आई हो, और बहुत मेरे लिए तुम्हारा जो रूप है वो नंदन के समान है, और तुम जो है हमेशा आया करो मेरे पास, और तुम कहाँ रहती हो, तुम्हारा क्या नाम है। तो भगवान जो है अपना नाम गोप देवी बताते हैं,
गोप देवी
कि मेरा नाम गोप देवी है, और नंद भवन से ईशान कोण की दिशा में मैं रहती हूँ। तो तुम्हारे बारे में सुना था, बहुत तुम्हारे गुणों को सुना था, तो मैं जो है तुम्हारा दर्शन करने के लिए चली आई हूँ, और जैसा सुना था उससे ज़्यादा मैंने पाया कि तुम्हारे गुण ऐसे हैं। तो इस प्रकार से गोप देवी के साथ में राधा रानी जो है अपने महल में विचरण करती रहीं, बगीचे में विचरण करती रहीं, और जब संध्या काल हुआ तो गोप देवी बोली कि अब तो मैं जा रही हूँ, क्योंकि शाम का समय हो गया है और मेरा जो घर है यहाँ से बहुत दूर है। तो राधा रानी जो है बेहोश हो जाती हैं विरह में, और कहती हैं तुम कब आओगी। तो गोप देवी कहती है मैं कल जो है फिर आऊँगी तुम्हारे पास में। तो फिर राधा रानी जो है किसी प्रकार से धैर्य धारण करती हैं और गोप देवी चली जाती हैं। अब दूसरे दिन जब आती हैं गोप देवी, तो राधा रानी जो है फिर इनका जो है पूजन करती हैं, सत्कार करती हैं, और जो है कहती हैं तुम बहुत अच्छी आई। लेकिन गोप देवी अनमनी है। तो राधा रानी सोचती हैं कि अनमनी मतलब बड़ी उदास हैं, तो किस बात से उदास हैं, तुम किस बात से उदास हो। सास ने कुछ तुम्हें कठोर वचन कहे हैं, या पति की ओर से कुछ कठोर व्यवहार हुआ है, या ननद ने तुम्हें कुछ बोला अगर किसी वैष्णव ने अगर कुछ किया है, कुछ तुम्हारे लिए कठोर, तो मैं तो कोई उपाय नहीं है, लेकिन वैष्णव के अलावा अगर किसी ने कुछ अगर कठोर व्यवहार किया है तो मैं इलाज कर दूंगी। तो गोप देवी कहती हैं कि देखो अब परीक्षा ले रही हैं राधा रानी की प्रेम की परीक्षा ले रही हैं, तो बड़ी कठोर परीक्षा ले रही हैं गोप देवी। कहती देखो नंदन जो है उनका जो है व्यवहार अच्छा नहीं है। मैं तो आ रही थी गोरस लेकर के, और रास्ते में आया अकेली देख करके मुझे जो है छेड़ने लगे, और मैंने कहा कि तुम क्यों आए हो। तो बोले मैं तो टैक्स वसूल करता हूँ, मुझे टैक्स लो। तो मैंने कहा कि तुम अपने आप टैक्स लेने वाले बन गए हो, चलो हटो, मैं तो तुम्हें टैक्स नहीं दूंगी। तो मेरे सिर से जो है जो कलश उतार लिया, दही का कलश उतार लिया, और उसमें फोड़ भी दिया, कुछ खा लिया, और इस प्रकार से जो है चले गए। तो मुझे तो उनका व्यवहार अच्छा नहीं लगता, और तुम जो है उनसे प्रेम करना छोड़ दो इतनी कठोर परीक्षा ली राधा रानी की कि कहते तुम तो एक तो रंग के जो है वो जो है श्यामल हैं, तो वो रंग भी इस तरह का है उनका, और फिर जाति के गोप हैं, तो वो भी मतलब तुम्हारे योग्य नहीं है, तो तुम जो है उनसे प्रेम करना छोड़ दो। और निष्ठुर भी हैं, उनका स्वभाव बड़ा निष्ठुर है। अब राधा रानी सोचने लगी कि अब मुझे जो क्या उत्तर देना चाहिए, क्योंकि मैंने जो प्रेम किया है इनसे, तो अब प्रेम को जो है मतलब मुझे ऐसा उत्तर नहीं देना चाहिए कि प्रेम भंग हो जाए। इसने तो मुझे बहुत मतलब कठोर तरीके से बात की है। तो सरस्वती का स्मरण करती हैं कि मैं जो है मेरी ओर से ऐसे कठोरता का व्यवहार ना हो और सही उत्तर भी दे सकूं। तो राधा रानी को फिर जो है उत्तर सूझा। तो फिर उन्होंने कृष्ण के गुणों का वर्णन किया कि तुम कैसे तुम उनको कहती हो कि वो काले कलोटे हैं, श्याम सुंदर, अनंत कामदेवों से भी ज़्यादा सुंदर हैं, और तुम गोप जाति को जो है नीच बताती हो। तो गोप जाति तो हमेशा गौओं की रज में स्नान करते हैं, गौओं के सुंदर मुख को देखते हैं, तो गोप जाति से सुंदर सबसे बड़ी ऊपर जाति तो कोई है ही नहीं। और तुम कहते हैं कि निष्ठुर हैं, तो वो तो अपने भक्तों के जो है इतने भक्त वत्सल हैं कि शंकर और ब्रह्मा का भी त्याग कर देते हैं, और बलराम जी का भी त्याग कर देते हैं, और वो जो है अपने भक्तों की रक्षा के लिए जाते हैं। तो उनके तो इतने गुण हैं। तो गोप देवी बोलनी कि राधे तुम्हारी बुद्धि तो बृहस्पति से भी ज़्यादा बढ़ करके है। तो तुमने जो बातें बताई श्याम सुंदर के बारे में, तो मैं तो तभी मानूंगी सही जब तुम उनको बुलाओ अगर तुम्हारे अंदर सच्चा प्रेम है उनके प्रति, तो उनको तुम बुला दो यहाँ, तो मैं मान लूँगी कि तुम जो है बिल्कुल सच्ची तुम्हारा प्रेम है अब राधा रानी कहती हैं कि देखो मेरे बुलाने से अगर वो आ जाएं तो मैं तुम्हारा क्या करूं, मैं तुम्हें क्या दंड दूं, वो तो तुम्हें बताओ। लेकिन अगर वो नहीं आए बुलाने से, तो मैं अपना जो है पूरा जो महल है वो मैं तुम्हें दे दूंगी। अब जो है राधा रानी आसन में जो है बैठ गई और जो है आंखें बंद कर लिए और प्रेम से जो है मतलब पुकारने लगी कृष्ण को, और नेत्रों से आंसू की धारा बहने लगी। तो कृष्ण तो दूर थे ही नहीं, वो तो वही थे, गोपी तो कृष्ण के रूप में प्रकट हो गए हैं और कहते हैं राधे हैं तुमने मुझे पुकारा, तुम बंसी बट से भाग करके आया हूँ तुम्हारा प्रेम इतना सच्चा है कि मैं बंसी बट से भाग करके आया हूँ, तुमने मुझे पुकारा है। इस प्रकार से राधा रानी के जो है भगवान प्रेम की परीक्षा लेते हैं। तो ये जो कथा है ये गर्ग संहिता में प्राप्त होती है। तो मधुर लीला तो भगवान चैतन्य जो है राधा कृष्ण की मधुर लीलाओं का जो है रसास्वादन करते थे, और इन लीलाओं में केवल 3.5 व्यक्ति ही होते थे जो कि इसमें शामिल होते थे। और 3.5 व्यक्ति कौन थे?
स्वरूप दामोदर, रामानंद राय, सीकी माहिती और माधवी देवी।
आधी जो है उनकी बहन थी। 3.5 लोग, और बाकी सामान्य लोगों के बीच में हरि नाम का ही प्रचार करते थे। इसलिए प्रभुपाद ने भी जो है सामान्य लोगों के बीच में ये सब कथाओं का विचार नहीं किया है या प्रचार नहीं किया है। लेकिन आज के दिन जो है हम सुन सकते हैं, क्योंकि आज के दिन श्री कृष्ण मधुर उत्सव है। श्री कृष्ण मधुर उत्सव महामहोत्सव की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की।
थैंक यू प्रभु जी। श्रीपाद नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर आविर्भाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की।